Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, Wakfu episode 15 of the second season. Yeah, last time we saw a singing contest. But just as everything in this universe, in the Wakfu universe, it's not just that. We have a voice stealer, and of course, this thief has to be connected by blood to the guy who is hosting the freaking contest. In this case, Phil Harmony. And yes, I love that pun like no other. And of course, this guy happens to know our Enutrof, Ruel. And yes, they were part of a band. Just when you start to think that you know Ruel, it always gives you a surprise. I never in my entire life, or at least the moment I knew this guy, I never suspected him for him to be part of a precious metal band because that's what they call themselves. I am still not sure if that particular genre exists. Perhaps it does, perhaps it doesn't. But I love how all, 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 all Ruel is a complete mystery. All those years and years and years and years of his existence, it's full of exciting stuff. Let's be honest. He formed a band. He was a football player star. Again, I don't know what is next. He was a great cooker, perhaps. He had a lover in every port. Who knows? It's Ruel. It could happen. We could beat the son of Ruel in one day. I don't know. For this guy, I believe everything. So yeah, it was a very fun service show too, especially for the male population or the women who enjoy the woman companions. Who am I to judge? To be honest. But yeah, it was a lot of fan service, which is appreciated, of course. That doesn't mean I won't hate the freaking duck. Especially because he knew what he was doing. He was blocking the best side. So yeah, the guy knew he was going to be hated. And yes, he's hated for obvious reason. Come on, just this close. But anyway, yeah, of course I know they're never going to show anything like that in a kid's cartoon. Come on. But anyway, yeah, it was a very fun episode. And I really like it. It was, again, a self-concluding episode, something that we missed because most of the first half of this series of the second season has been several parts, two-parter, three-parter with the sports, and of course the overarching arc that is going through all the freaking season. In this case, trying to find the Dofus of Kilby. So yeah, it is good to see something as short and sweet, let's say, as this last episode. But anyway, yeah, I have spoken of about that in the last episode. So yeah, let's just cut all of this and watch the next one, shall we? Okay, I like this rhythm. Okay, I like this one. What? What? What is real like that? Okay, seriously, again? We of course. Who's to give us a vote?
C'est des Wabbits, Pimpin, pas des Wabbits. Et les Wabbits, c'est plus des fouisseurs que des marins.
Je te rappelle qu'on est sur une île, Ruel. Et qui...
Okay.
Et puis d'abord, pourquoi il viendrait fouissouiller sur une île, hein?
Je sens qu'on va bien se maouer.
Oh boy, those are the what? Okay, I thought it was more skillful than that.
Une banque, j'ai une banque. Aidez-moi et vous pouvez la poindre. Je suis le Wabbit.
Wabbit.
Oh,
I was vanished. Oh, that's his part of his stitch.
honteusement banni, je suis le roi de cette île.
I don't believe any of them.
Wabbit, le
Vous
super
aider à récupérer votre trône contre votre promesse de nous donner votre bateau.
Oh, c'est promis jouer quoi.
Okay, again, I don't know. Yeah, that's disgusting, man. I love the paintings.
C'est ça l'entrée du fameux donjon Wabbit?
Non, c'est l'une des...
Oh,
Laissez, ce sont
the
des amateurs.
amateur, of
C'est un
course.
castagne qui me démange.
Oh boy. What is going to happen?
Cette idée a quelle puanteur. Et si on changeait d'avis finalement?
Yeah,
J'ai même pas envie de descendre.
I knew you shouldn't trust that guy.
Faut bien aller le chercher maintenant, nous.
Oh. Yeah, of course, Hugo is not going to abandon him. Oh, he's inside now. Oh, poor ass.
Ça va?
Tu vois, c'est déjà fini. On pouvait...
No, you weren't right to trust him. I knew it. What? Okay, this is something I wasn't expecting. This looks neat as hell, but I wasn't expecting that one.
Où est-ce qu'on est tombé?
Dans un trou noir.
Il faut pas traîner ici.
Oh, I love this 8-bit. Okay, I love it. A platformer. Dude, I would love to play this game. Okay, Sonic now? Of course. Oh! Oh no!
Perdu mon gamin. Non.
Pousse-toi, faut se dépêcher, le niveau monte.
Okay. I will pay for this game. Hell, even the music!
C'est ici qu'on jette les carottes pourries.
I love everything about this. This is like my childhood. Oh, dude, this is Sonic, Mario, and every single thing I love.
Et qu'est-ce qu'on fait maintenant?
Bonne question. Pour l'instant, on peut pas dire que ce donjon casse des briques.
Bambin, t'es un génie. Amalia, ta poupée.
Oh, crap. Seriously, man. Okay. I love how the retro games are portrayed in here. Oh! Seriously, Space Invaders!
Et maintenant, Bambin?
Oh! Space Invaders! Oh man!
Attention, hein. Il y a des pièges partout.
Come on, they deserve an extra life. They. Oh, this is real.
Laissez. Ce coup-ci, je m'occupe de
Yes, exactly.
toi. Va chercher les pépites à papa. C'est bien.
Oh, Tetris too.
Regardez, l'éboulement a découvert la sortie.
Oh, Pac-Man! That's what we missed! Dude, this is my childhood. What Pac-Man? No, I was too. Oh. Oh boy, this is so neat.
Retenez-moi ou j'en fais de la purée de carottes.
Okay, what is next? I hope they don't find Dark Souls in here. But no, I don't think so. This is 8-bit era. Oh, okay, a fighting game now.
Hein, parce que c'est moi le seul vrai expert en donjon.
Si j'étais pas là.
You still have Yes, she's kind of correct.
Je te rappelle que c'est Relax qui m'a sauvé le premier et que c'est aussi grâce à lui que je t'ai sauvé la vie.
Sauver la vie? Mais c'est la moindre
Oh, okay.
Si t'as pas cassé ton vieil arc, t'en aurais pas reçu un tout nouveau super.
Ooh. Okay, a verbal fight. Yata! I love it. Oh, and he was mistaken. Are you
Je
serious?
suis très fier. Ils ont bien travaillé. C'est vraiment bien fait.
Au lieu de vous brosser le poil, cherchez plutôt un moyen de...
Yes, exactly.
Je sais. Il faut réaliser une danse stupide
What?
en suivant les flèches au sol pour ouvrir la porte.
Où est-ce que vous allez chez
What?
aussi débile?
Ben, j'en connais.
Ça fait longtemps.
Regardez ici, il y a une inscription. Qu'est-ce qui est invisible et
Carrot.
sur la carotte?
Je sais, c'est un pro.
Seriously, no.
Papa a raison, mais il faut le prononcer comme un Wabbit.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Qu'est-ce qu'on fait maintenant? On va
Oh.
Vos énigmes, elles valent pas un pet de Wabbit.
Oh, it has to be very specific, of course. And they return to normal. I love this episode. This section is the best.
Les espèces en voie de disparition
Oh.
ont rien à réclamer. Garde! Tout le monde au cachot!
Oh. What?
Perdu ton donjon aux cartes? Mais un boss de donjon, ça bastonne.
Yes! Okay, that's why he's so offended.
D'aventurier.
Millions ce matin? Tu sais, Pimpin et les chiffres, après deux, ils perdent toujours le compte.
Oh, poor Bonbon.
C'est comme ça, c'est toi et moi sans les cartes.
Holy.
Oh, attendez, il est un monstre, donjon! D'accord, je vais t'offrir le combat de tes rêves, yop!
Oh boy. I don't think those are challenge for Pompon. Come on, Pompon.
Pimpin, chope le roi, nous on s'occupe de ces deux-là.
Yeah, of course. Oh, okay, those are great. Oh. But come on, these are heroes who defeated Nox. Oh, these machines are good. Come on, Hugo, you have defeated a kind of a robot before. Holy missiles! Yeah. Ooh. Holy. Okay, he's more powerful than I thought.
Mais c'était quoi ça?
This is a... Oh, seriously? Another... Another Dragon Ball reference? Okay, I don't mind at all. Ooh, Dwaros. Oh, each for one cannon, I love it. One down? Yes, one down. The other one. Holy! Ooh, of course, against the robot. Bam! Two down! Now just the king.
Fini de courir, roi.
Oh, he finally learned.
Bon, ben il doit pas en rester tant que ça des donjons.
Oh.
Trop facile les wapins.
No, don't let it because he's not be trusted.
Pardon, c'était juste...
Yeah, bullcrap. Oh.
Bon, c'est bon, tu l'as eu ton jouet. On peut y aller maintenant.
En revanche, vous ne manquerez pas
Oh boy. Oh crap. That's how they are going to travel. They seriously never noticed that. Seriously, holy. What the hell? How far the thing is going to take them?
Peuple des mags!
Oh, I have a dream. Yeah, of course.
Un lièvre?
Okay, enough of that, because if not, I'm going to see the spoilers. Again, another self-concluding episode. A very funny one with a ton, and I mean a ton of references. Seriously. Video game reference and another Dragon Ball reference. Which of course makes me so happy, because yes, most of those games I played when I was like 4 or 6 or I don't remember, but I love those games. So yeah, I'm gonna watch this again and we'll be back with my comments. See you in a bit. Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the 15th episode. And yes, I love every single reference of video games in this one. Boy, that was such a memory lane for me. Some of those games I have played. As I said before, I have been playing video games since I was 4, when I have the Atari 2600. It was beautiful, it was gorgeous. And yeah, of course, I still play video games, mostly on my computer nowadays. But anyway, yes, I love all those references, all those little moments in which you were shown all those retro games. I love it. But anyway, as always, I'm gonna be doing this in order and scene by scene. We start again on an island. And yeah, it looked just like last time that their boat was destroyed or something along those lines. And I was wondering why the hell did this happen? But of course, looks can be deceiving. Ruel wasn't exactly stuck in that freaking gigantic clam because he was thrown so hard and he just happened to fall into that. No, they yes were thrown out of a boat thanks to the barfing of Pompon, but Ruel was inside that clan because he was after the pearl. Of course, Pompon tried to help him out, trying to get Hugo's help, but of course, Hugo was watching this. No, man, that is disgusting. His feet are terrible, and I just woke up. And yeah, the one that was most helpful was in this case Amalia, because yes, she just grabbed the freaking shovel and well, shovel it inside the freaking clam and open it, and yeah, that helped Ruel in this moment. A funny scene, pretty irrelevant in the long run, let's be honest. It's just kind of a setup for this new island and to let us know that they lost the boat in which they were. And yeah, later on, of course, we figured out something else. Evangeline was alone in the jungle. I would say forest, but not this jungle. And she discovered a statue of a weird being. I really didn't make any out of it. I didn't really saw a defined form for it. Perhaps I'm bad for that, or I really have bad memory. But yeah, it was kind of a fox, but it was Leland, I think it was Linal, something along those lines. And yes, they were kind of massacred by the other inhabitants that arrived later on, the Wabbits. Yeah, my guess is the Wabbits are kind of a game or a word or something related to the Looney Tunes, especially with Elmer Fudd. That is my guess because yes, he used to speak like that, and they're kind of Wabbits, and he was always after the Wabbit. In this case, Bugs Bunny. That is my guess. That is a game in that little place. But of course, that is not completely relevant to the episode. It's just a neat pun or a neat. I don't think it's a pun. It's more of a memory or some a reference. That's the word I was looking for. Anyway, yeah, they continue speaking about that. Yes, they need to get a boat so they can escape this island. And this is when a little creature, in this case a wabbit, is kind of looking at them and saying, "Oh yes, this is going to be fun." In that moment, I never trust that guy. Wabbit, I think it is the correct name. But this is supposed to be the boss of the dungeon of this island, and yes, of course, Pompon wants to enter the dungeon. Evangeline doesn't. She's thinking that we don't have time to any of this fun. But yes, once he figured out that he found the freaking boss of the dungeon and he was defeated and the other guy should be stronger, the one who defeated the boss should be stronger, he was so enthusiastic. And I mean, Pompon is so all happy and all smiles. And yes, yeah, of course, he convinced them because they need a boat and they need to get out of the island. So he tells the story, and of course, it's a very different story of what really happened. They say that a terrible being just attacked the dungeon, and thanks to evil magic or dark magic, he was defeated and pushed out of the dungeon, abandoning his people. And he wants to go back because he's the hero of his people, or something along those lines. Yeah, that was how he convinced these guys. Of course, Evangeline is the most skeptic. She doesn't trust this guy, with obvious reason. I never trust that guy when I saw him and the interaction he had with the rest, with them. They of course tell the story, and I love how in that little story the adventurers were very similar to Pompon. My guess they were all yops. So yeah, again, he's kind of humiliated against the Yops because all the reasons you have given me, that yes, they are stupid and all that. Yeah, even the phrase that you have a Yop brain or something along those lines. Yeah, it's very discriminatory against those poor guys. They can be brutes, but they can be fun and they can be very brave too and help you a lot in your journey, as we have seen with Pompon that literally sacrificed his life to help his friend and to save his friends. So yeah, they have a little discussion that okay, we should help him because it's gonna be fun at the freaking dungeon. And the dream of millions of adventurers is going to end. Evangelist saying no, we cannot help him. Amelia is saying we need to help him because yeah, we need a boat. So yeah, and of course Ruel saying oh he's a king, we could benefit a lot from him. And Hugo again, very innocent, very brave, and very noble, saying we have to help him because well, it's our duty as heroes. So yeah, they decide to help him. Again, I'm not trusting this guy at all in any moment. They open the freaking dungeon and he throw literally ass inside the freaking dungeon. And this is a technique, a very cruel technique, but in the past, so the miners cannot, well, they won't die. They will bring a freaking cannery into a mine. If the cannery dies, that means there is gas, dangerous gas in the mine, and they need to go out of the cave. This is a reference. I'm not an expert in mining, but it's something that I have seen from The Simpsons when they have to rescue Bart Simpson from the well. Anyway, yeah, they see that Ass is fine, let's say, and they go deeper into the dungeon. The guy really is the king in the end, and you can see that from some point or another. But he's a big douchebag. Hell, if they were called tyrant in some moment by Amalia, I can see that. Amalia is a princess, but she doesn't treat her subjects like trash. Not like this guy that really just it's a real tyrant because somebody else is doing his job or somebody else is doing the job of the heavy job and he's just ruling above the land without helping a lot. We have a small section in which Ruel is trying to teach Pompon the language of the Wabbits. Again, you just change an R for a W. But again, this is way too difficult for freaking Pompon. Then again, he's saying that, oh yes, he said foreign language and it's hard to understand. You have to understand this Ruel. It's so easy, but anyway, it's Pompon. They arrive at the entry of the throne's room, what I suppose was a throne room, but that was a trap. Amazingly, it wasn't set by the freaking Wabbit. It was set by the Lindland, the fox. I'm gonna call him a fox because I don't remember his name or the name of the race. They enter a tunnel, and this is one of the most wonderful things I have seen in a long time. Yes, it's a green tunnel, in reference, of course, to Super Mario Bros. Yeah, my guess is the first part is the Super Mario Bros. Segment, the most recognizable video game of all, because yes, you will recognize Super Mario you played. Hell, even if you don't play it, you recognize the tune of Super Mario. That's how recognizable it is. I getting vibes of this first level from Super Mario World because yes, when you enter below ground, you're kind of seeing these colors and these ambience in the background. That's what I remember the most, Super Mario World in this part. But yeah, my guess is a reference to all Mario Bros. The second reference, of course, is Sonic. I don't know exactly which Sonic, perhaps the 8-bit, perhaps Sonic Original, the Sonic Original. Yeah, because of the speed and all that. And hell, even when Rail was damaged, it was he lost his camas instead of rings in this case. They escape and they enter another place or another reference now. They are on a ship. This is not exactly, I'm not exactly sure what a reference is. It's kind of a shooter. A different type of shooter, of course, because of what Hugo is doing, like kind of shooting beams. It's a shooter. It's a horizontal shooter. I don't remember the exact name of the game. And yes, it could be a reference to a lot of stuff. But again, it's kind of perhaps I play too much Super Mario World because this is kind of similar again to Super Mario World when you have to be on top of the freaking square and the square is moving in certain patterns. And yeah, you have to be there and avoiding damage, especially the freaking oh god, I forget the name of the things. You know, the blades that spin. I don't remember the name of those. Yeah, this one is a reference to that, or that is what I see in that, or perhaps it's just a generic shooter. And the next reference I love because it's a very old reference, but it's pointing really, really directly, even in the subtitles. I don't know if it's said in French. I don't know if it's the name in French or if they say the English name, the original name, because yes, it's a reference to Breakout, the freaking platform that you have to bounce the ball and destroy the cubes in the top of it. And yes, this is a clear reference to that. Hell, even the name, when mentioned by Pompon, I love it. Yeah. 8-bit Wonder. Hell, this is Atari Wonder. This was the first time in 1979, 1978, something around those lines. I think it was the first time it came out. So yeah, it's a very, very old reference. And then we have another very old reference, in this case, Space Invaders. I think it's Space Invaders. I don't think it's Galaga. I think it's really, really Space Invaders. But I love it because hell, yes, I'm 100% sure because now I remember that in the background there is this kind of carrots inside of boxes, and yes, those are similar of the three things that were in the Space Invaders layout. So yeah, that's now I'm 100% sure that it is really Space Invaders that reference. The other one I'm not sure. Perhaps it's Tetris because yeah, the moment you align everything and the three were aligned and they were destroyed. Yeah, I think it's a reference to Tetris in when Junior grabbed the freaking coins, and of course they keep advancing. And then the most obvious one, Pac-Man, was here. And yes, I love the small ones and the sound. And oh man, yes, the direct design. I think it's the same design of the original Pac-Man. I love it. It's really, this is heaven for me. Seriously, heaven. And yes, they went back again to a platformer. Again, my guess is another reference to Super Mario, or perhaps something else. Perhaps the creators of the show really gave me something else. I was thinking, I was thinking of Super Mario Bros. 2, thanks to the way he grabbed the freaking carrot from the ground. But actually, also I was thinking about this Yoshi Island. I think it was, yeah, because of the background and everything that happened here. And yes, the last reference is, of course, the fighting game. Street Fighters, to be honest. This was Street Fighter, just a straight Street Fighter. Of course, they are not going to hit each other because, yes, they love each other. They are not going to be fighting like that because, yes, Pom Pom and Evangeline. But everything in there is so Street Fighter. The background kind of, I don't know, everything. Yeah, Hugo being just in this repetitive movement, Amalia too just doing that, Ruel just standing there. Yeah, I love it. It's just great. And of course, the last reference that confirms that it's a Street Fighter, the celebration from Pom Pom, the way that just celebrate just like Chun-Li, even with the Yatta in the end. I love it. I am in love with this episode for all those references. And the last one, when they were being pushed, again, I don't know the reference in here. This is something I am not familiar with. But of course, they need to say the word. In this case, they thought it was fart, but it wasn't fart, or fought, whatever you pronounce it as a rabbit, let's say, as a wabbit, sorry. But they have to say all of that. A wabbit fart, well, fart, whatever you want to call it, really. And that was, of course, the exit of this little, really reference heaven for me. It was amazing. I love it because it brings me so much memory and so much joy when I watch all those video games, retro video games reference. I love it. And yes, I love the design, the chibi design that they went with this section. They are so adorable. Hell, even Ruel looks adorable in this one. Something that is unbelievable. And yes, I want to speak about this a lot because I'm not over with this section. There is a portion I didn't notice at first, but I love how they change kind of the foreground. Because now we can see the reflection of light as you could see that in an old TV. Not the square, well, the big ones but with a small screen and kind of round. And yes, you can see the light in the freaking screen in the corner of the screen. And you were playing like crazy, very close to it because the controllers didn't have that long range. Yeah, I love everything about this section. Everything. Dude, that will be great. I would love to play a game like this because it has from everything. Man, I love this section. It brought me so much joy to see all those references to video games. I just love it. Top notch, man. Oh boy. Anyway, yeah, they went back and they transformed back to the old selves, to the normal selves, and they arrived to the throne room. The Wabbit start to chase the other guy. I thought at the beginning it was going to be like a mutant carrot or something like that, but no, it was the other race, the fox-like race, the Linland, I think they were. Correct me if I'm wrong, or probably I'm going to put an annotation if I'm wrong. Yeah, it was Linal. Damn it, I was thinking about Linal. Yes, that's the name of the race. And of course, after that, the Linal was defeated. He betrayed them, and I mean the Wabbit betrayed them. He was just throwing them away in a dungeon alongside with the other guy, and he wasn't fulfilling his promise. But of course, this ensued a battle, and everybody's fighting against two giant robots. Because yes, that's the only thing we were missing it now. I don't know if those are a reference, but if those were a reference, my guess is kind of a Metal Gear reference. Yeah, they start to fight. Again, after the freaking video games overload, the reference overload, everything else seems kind of, I don't know, less important than the last portion. I know, I am such a great fan. But anyway, yeah, before that, we need to know exactly how this evil mage conquered the dungeon. But it wasn't that evil. He just defeated everybody in a card game. The guards, the inner guards, the king, everything. So yes, it wasn't that heroic, it wasn't that terrible. He was just defeated in a card game. I mean, seriously, what is this? Yu-Gi-Oh? They're going to be sent to the Shadow Realm or something like that? Anyway, yeah, they were defeated, and we're seeing again, and now we're really seeing the freaking fight between against those robots. Because yes, Pompon is angry, because you should defeat the boss of a dungeon by fighting him, not by freaking playing a card game. So yeah, I can understand Pompon. He was so pumped because he was going to fight the other boss. Yeah, the bots were kind of taken care of. They were kind of a threat for a while. They weren't big of a threat. They were defeated rather easily with their arrows, thanks to Evangeline, and it was done because they were destroyed by the inside. And the other one, thanks to the another reference to Dragon Ball, kind of similar Kamehameha. Yeah, thanks to Hugo, of course, and his portals. He defeated the boss, or at least the new boss was now Pompon. And yes, he was so proud of that. But unfortunately, the responsibilities of being the king of the dungeon were a lot. So he just said, oh yeah, sure, okay, you know what, you are in charge of my dungeon, and now we're going. Oh wait, you need to give us a boat. But again, the freaking Wabbit was planning to betray them from the beginning, it doesn't matter what. And of course, he never planned on giving them a boat. Another thing, I wrote, I don't remember the exact words that he said. And this was a little bit different. It was a boat, but smaller. It looks like an oversized bucket with a freaking sail. That's what it looks like. And of course they use a giant catapult, and I don't know how the hell didn't notice that, to throw them literally away. I don't know how far that thing took them. I highly doubt they will reach even the next island. I don't know what the hell is going to happen to them. Hopefully, it's not going to be a terrible situation in which they are trapped in the sea and something terrible is going to happen to them. But again, I love the silly designs of all of this. Hell, this giant catapult has a bathroom in it. Why they need a bathroom with a freaking catapult? Okay, yeah, it's silly, but everything about this island is silly. The way they fight each other, the way they speak, everything is ridiculous. The design of everything. It's really, really silly, and I love it. And yes, I noticed the last reference that the Linald was speaking, and yes, it's a huge reference of a famous speech. I have a dream. Of course, they never said anything else. It was a reference to the speech of Martin Luther King Jr. Yeah, they never said anything else. It was just a small skit. And yes, they understand the first one, and I could not see the rest. I don't know if there's going to be another reference to the same speech or something else, because yes, those were spoilers. Again, another self-concluding episode, which is something I'm glad to see again. Yes, the big adventure is still going, but we're watching these small episodes that are bringing us closer to that goal. Yeah, it is. It was a very fun, a much fun episode. I really have a blast with this one, especially with the video game reference. As I said before in the same video, I'm a fan of a lot of games. I don't play much in a console. I prefer to use my computer to play some games. And yes, I love them. And I love retro games. I have several emulators in my computer, so I can play Atari games. I could play Nintendo games. I could play Super Nintendo games. Hell, I even have my Super Nintendo here, and it's still functioning. Give me a second. I think I have it around here. Yeah. Here is my Super Nintendo, and I still play it from time to time. It's still a little bit dusty because, yeah, I don't have much time with my school right now. But yeah, whenever I can, I really enjoy playing this. And yes, as you can see, it has the Super Mario Land in here because, it's Super Mario World, not Super Mario Land. Super Mario Land's another one. Yeah, because that is among my favorite games. I was playing like when I was 10, I think? 12? I don't know, around those age. But yeah, I'm a great fan of retro games. And yeah, that's why I have so many emulators. So when I saw all the reference in the episode, I was just like a kid in a candy store when everything is free. I said, "Oh my god, this is so great! So many references." Seriously, I was in love with that scene. In the moment I noticed the pipe, the grip, I said, "Oh my god, this is so awesome! This is so great!" And yeah, I love this episode. And I think I love it more for the reference. That made me so happy. Yeah. But anyway, I think I have spoken enough about that. And I'm rambling a lot in the end. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And of course, my little commentary. And yeah, as always, thank you for your likes, your views, your comments, and your subscriptions. If you want to be a subscriber, click on the button for subscription and the bell so you can get notifications. And if you can share this video, you want to share this video, that will help me a lot more. And of course, if you want to follow me on Twitter, the link is in the description below. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for your attention. And yeah, see you on the next one. Bye.